Hello and welcome to another video of Car Mechanic Simulator. So you've finished the tutorial, you've driven your car around the track and you find yourself in your lovely garage wondering what on earth you're going to do with yourself. You can go around and have a look at the different aspects of the garage, but you want to be getting on and making money and repairing cars. So how do we do that? Everything is done via a radial menu which you can access through pressing the triangle button. We can then look at what orders we have available to us, and there's a little timer there as to how long they'll be available. So each of those will give us a basic overview of what we need to do with the car. So there we've got change engine oil and filter, so that should be fairly straightforward. So we can hopefully, let's take that order because we should be able to fit that nicely into one fairly brief video. So as you can see, that magically delivers the vehicle into our garage. So how do we then get it onto the ramp? Again, it is back to that radial menu. This time we need to be highlighting the vehicle, and you'll see here there's an option to move your car. And at the moment, the options that we've got available are quite limited. We can either put it into parking and onto the car lifter. So we've got the car on the ramp there. We had that broad overview of what we need to do. So let's dive in and see what it is specifically. So to do that, back into the radial menu, car status. And you can see there, just a reminder that we needed to change the oil filter and change the oil by draining the old oil and refilling it with the new. A useful thing to do here is if we press the square button, then we're going to track the part that we need to change, and I'll show you why that's useful. Let's get the car lifted, because we need to do two things here. We need to get under the hood so that we can see the part that we need to replace, and you will hopefully see, yes we can, that the part that we need to replace is very helpfully highlighted in blue because we tracked it. Now when we click on the part of the car here via X, we can either just press X to look at it or X to remove it. And we're going to have to remove them in sequence, in that sometimes you need to remove things to get to the other. And if it's highlighted and it's green, that means that you can access it. And you can see here that the oil filter is visibly damaged. Everything that's damaged is always very visibly rusty as a visual cue. Another helpful thing that we can do here is if we press our radial menu, is we can add this to a list of parts that we need. And that is useful because we're then going to need to go and buy it from the computer. Parts notes, like so. So let's take out this rusty old filter, and what you can see, if you've forgotten to add it onto your parts list, then there's quite a few in here, then it should be the damaged one will show in here so that you know. As you can see, the oil filter there on this is an oil filter C, and it's only at 4%. So if you forget to track your part, I would recommend leave the old one in your inventory, because you can sell some of these parts. You don't get very much for them, but hey, it's money and it clears out the stuff you don't need. It is unfortunately quite easy as well to delete the wrong thing, so just take a minute when you're doing that. So I'm just going to get rid of all these old parts. And every so often when you have a playthrough, you'll see that you're given cases that you can open, and they will essentially give you free parts, which you can either sell or I presume then used later on in game. And what treasures have we got here? Oh, we've got a barn location map. So what I'll do is I'll do these repairs and I'm going to have a look at those maps, because on the world map there is a junk location that we haven't been able to open up. So maybe that is linked to it. We'll have a look. Let's carry on and go and buy our oil filter. We head over to the computer. And you can see, well, I'll just go back a page. So when you first log in, you'll have this series of options. We want to buy parts. We know that we're looking at the engine, and we want an oil filter. Now there's quite a lot of stuff there to scroll through. So if we press the square button, and we can start typing that in to narrow down our search, and we can see that oil filter C is the one that we need. Let's go and buy that. Head back over to the vehicle, and when we click to resume work on it, it will default back to disassembly. So although that's green, if we were then to click on X now, we would actually be removing the oil filter base, and we want to be putting it in. So we're going to go back to the radial menu, change over to part mount. It's green. We've got the old one and the new one. It will automatically default to the new. Pop that in. Place the cover back on. And then when we go back to our car status, you will see that the oil filter is now changed. Now, if there's various things that you need to do, I would recommend untracking the part, because otherwise every time you go back it will be blue even though you've done it. So the only thing left for us to do here is to change the oil. So for that we're going to need to do two things. We're going to have to lift the car up so that we can get to the oil underneath, and over here we've got an oil drain. I'm going to move that over to the car lifter, and when we press use, you'll see the oil being caught in there. I have forgotten to do that a number of times, and it will cost you $100 to then clean up your floor. Okay, nothing more we need to do underneath there. Emptied out the old oil, so it's in with the new. So let's highlight the engine, and let's find the, where's the oil dipstick. That's not it. So this is a little bit different from the other vehicles. On the other ones, it was really obvious where the oil filter was. So that's the air filter cover, oil filter cover. That's what we just replaced. Where is... there it is. Oil fill plug. And press the X button. That will fill up. Once it's full, it should just stop tilting a little bit like that. Okay, that's full. So we should now go back to our car status, and that gives us a summary. So that was quite a straightforward job. Nice one just to fit into a very brief video, just to go back through the main steps and mechanics of the game again. So it's cost us $75 for the parts. We get a task bonus and a job bonus of $31, which means our total payout is $137. So we can finish the order. And the car has magically disappeared. As I mentioned earlier, I'm just going to head over to the world map to see whether we can now go to that junkyard now that we've got some car auction, should I say. So we still can't get to it at the moment. The introductory video to the game is about going to barns and finding vehicles and restoring them. So let's click. Do you want to add barn destination to your map? That sounds very promising. So we've got 2 maps there. We've also got ourselves another crate, so I don't know whether you get 1 per job. That'd be good. So if we go to the main gate. Ooh, interesting. So we can now travel to a barn. It's going to cost us $100. This is quite interesting. I've not seen this before. Oh, the trepidation. Okay, so we have a barn. Ooh. Oh, very interesting. So there's a couple of cars in this barn. Wow, this is like a nice one. I wonder how much these are going to cost. I've got $7,000. Please let me have enough one. 22,000. We're going to have to do some jobs for this. So it's cost me $100 to go to the barn. Okay, I've lost $100, but at least I know that I can buy these cars. And we can also have a look at an overview. So we can actually check out the condition, by the looks of it, of the vehicle as well, so we can see what we're buying beforehand. Okay, that is interesting. So we've got a couple of barn locations, so then I think what this is going to become is we're going to work through... Oh, we can search through junk and stuff. Okay. So it's still worth coming to the barn. So that's a good, interesting mechanic as well. So we can search through stuff, and yeah, not all of it's in great condition. But it's all going to be sellable. So we've got ourselves another crate there as well. That was unexpected, I've got to say. I wasn't expecting to find a kind of extra element to the game in this sense. I did, as I say, on the cutscene, it does show them going to a barn and you know, buying the vehicle. So I kind of knew that that was coming. I mean, it is a shame that the cars aren't free, but you know, you can't expect too much. Oh, there's another one there as well. Looks like some kind of Corvette. So let's make sure, because it's costing us $100 to get to the barn, let's make sure we rinse this place for all it's worth. I'm sure that the parts that we've recovered from the barn are gonna bring us more cash than it costs to get here. Oh, I seem to have gone to put it back, and we don't want to do that. So let's just have a look how much this little fella's going to cost us. Also, he's an expensive boy. He's 32,000 as well. There's a couple of miles on that, but overall conditions there you can see are pretty decent. I guess what the skill is would be to go around the vehicle and see how much, what you're buying into essentially. So we missed a little bit there. I would say that was well worth a $100 trip. Okay, let's go back to the garage, and you can see there, that's nice. There's a summary there. Oh, okay. So we can't actually, those parts aren't free. We are going to have to pay for them. So that's $2,785 for parts that I do not currently need. So I'm going to quit without parts. But that was worth doing. I wasn't sure how you got to the point where you could go and buy those vehicles and then repair them, upgrade them and sell them for the big bucks, and now we know. Again, hope that has been helpful. Give it a thumbs up if you can. It's a new channel. I really appreciate the support, especially if you can subscribe. That would be amazing, and I will see you in the next video.